Okay guys, I'm going to go through the whole process of logging in, writing your report, creating your time card, and submitting your time card. If you have not created a password, you're going to leave the password field blank. So if this is the first time logging in, you leave that password field blank. Depending on what entity you work for, you will need to select a database. If you're in company, you can leave it as is. If you're labs or San Francisco, you have to select the appropriate database. Username will be your Smith Emery email. Password, like I said, if it's your first time logging in, you leave blank. If you, for some reason, mess this up 3 times in a row, it will give you it will look like it locks you out. What you'll need to do to try again is double-click your home button somewhere down here off the screen, or swipe up on this bar down here, and that'll open your app switcher, and you'll be able to swipe up on that app to quit it. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. I'm bypassing the password creation for the time being, but this will take you to a page where you create a password. After you create a password, and then all the subsequent times you log in with that password, you will come right to your schedule. So you'll notice I am on today, June 6th, and I'm in the agenda view. And these are my dispatches. If I want to go see my dispatches from a different day, I can click over here, and I could pick June 10th, see my dispatches there. If I want to get back to today easily, I can just click on this Today button. So you'll see I have several dispatches. I've got reinforced concrete on job 9999-99 and field welding on that same job. And then I have UT and reinforced concrete on -2 of that same project. This is just for demonstration purposes, but this is going to be common for people who are on long-term jobs, especially if they have different dash numbers. And this is basically your menu. It's here because when you're on a long-term dispatch, Maxine, Joel, Phil, Jeff, they don't know who, what you're going to be doing on a particular day. So they'll give you multiple options if you're a multi-carded guy. So if you come out here and you're only doing UT today, or you're only doing field welding, you only have to write one report. If you are doing multiple disciplines, you do have to write multiple reports, because that will determine what activity codes go on your time card at the end of the day. So I'm going to start by adding a ultrasonic inspection. I click right on there. This is my dispatch. It's got information, including my dispatch comments, and then down here I can see project documents, non-compliances on the job, my previous inspections on this dispatch, and then there will also be an IR documents, which is the document specific to that dispatch. I come up here, I click Add New Inspection, and I get a safety briefing. This is kind of our way to do an on-site safety meeting. It doesn't replace any on-site meetings that you have to have with the contractor, but it's, since we're not on site, it's the way that we can do it. You acknowledge it. It will change from time to time, so you click OK. And we get on to our inspection record. So you'll see up here we've got some gray fields that cannot be edited. Those are for read only, including the address, which is already filled out for you. We've got our qualifying certificate, so that came from the dispatch, or from our previous inspection on this dispatch when we filled it in. So you should, on a recurring dispatch, you only have to fill this in one time. Offsite location, that came from our dispatch. We can edit it if necessary, we can type in there. Documents reviewed. You'd want to put the actual plan numbers in there, whatever they are. Permit number, that would come from the job if possible. Some projects or jobs have multiple permit numbers. In those situations, we will not put it there because we don't want to accidentally put the wrong one and have you leave it there. So that will either be filled out or blank, but you can edit it either way. IR number, if they provide that to dispatch, then dispatch will put it on and it will go onto your inspection for you. Report date, that's always going to be today. If you need to backdate a report, this is where you would do it. You can type right in this field, or you can use this this calendar menu. This is description of work down here is the main body of your report. And you can fit quite a bit in here. So I'm going to copy that. Just to show you how it looks. It'll start to scroll, and you can scroll within there. This is a UT report, so there's additional fields for your equipment. You can type in here. Sometimes there will be options in here, and it will fill out some of these fields for you. I don't have any loaded in right now, so I'm just going to put in some, fake data so you can so we can see that it gets filled out. Calibration due date. Let's say that's coming up. So that's the basics of your inspection. You fill out real information, of course. Then we go to our compliance checkboxes right here. So you see work inspected in accordance with the requirements of. That sentence gets finished by the system, whether it's permit or DSA or HCI. We check that. Check that. Revision note. So if you publish a report, say on Friday, and then you find some mistakes on it, or you need to make some changes to it on Monday, there's a chance that that report has already been emailed out. The report is available to the client immediately for download, but if it gets mailed out and then you republish it after making some changes, it's going to get mailed out again. So this is basically to inform the client why they're receiving the report again. So you could say something like fixed minor typos and say the date that you did it. So today is 6/26/25. Internal notes is for SE eyes only. This is a reference for you on your lists. It can help you find a report if you put some keywords in there. It can also just be something that you want to note but don't want to put on the report. Totally up to you whether you use it or not. Ultrasonic data. So this is how you add a table. If you come over and scroll, you can click this new button right above the no data to display, and that will add a line. And then I move back over, and you can type in here. I'm gonna use my tab key to move along, put in some fake information. I'll just stop there. And then I want to save it. So on the left here, the floppy disk is a save icon. This back button is a cancel icon. If you're worried about fat fingering it, you can just kind of pinch on there and you can get the save button. And then you can pinch back out. If you wanted to add in the slide out, you can click this new button. And it will give you a slide out, same data. You type it all in, click OK. If you want to click, if you don't want to save it, you'll click cancel. But if you want to save it, you click OK. And now you'll see I have a second line here. If you want to edit it in that slide out, you click this bigger pencil. If you want to edit it in the line, you'd click this orange pencil. And then you click the save again. And if you want to add a new one, you click this green plus button on either line. It doesn't matter. Next, so this will be specific to an ultrasonic report. Compaction reports will have their own tables. Anchor reports have tables. Sometimes they're necessary, like in a compaction report. Sometimes they're optional. You can kind of cover the same ground in your description of work. All report forms will have the report photos tab. So I'm going to click on there and I click new right here. This pulls up the form for adding a photo. So the title goes above the photo. These check boxes for add to appendix, leave that checked, otherwise it will not get on the report. Do not check inactive, leave those as they are. We'll probably just lock them down soon. The sort order, so on the report you can fit 4 photos per page, and they'll go in order top left to top right, left to right, top to bottom. The lowest number being in the top left position. If you don't care what order they go in, you can leave those all as 0 and it will order randomly. The description goes below photo. A title is not necessary. I strongly recommend that you do include a description, just to help your report mean a little bit more to the client. And then you come down to the photo line. In your iPad, when you click Browse, you'll get Photo Library, Take Photo, or Choose File. I'm going to go ahead and click Take Photo. I'm sitting here in the conference room in LA. Take my photo, and then I come down to the bottom right and I click Use Photo. There it is. I come up to the top right, click OK. And my photo has been added, and I can see what I wrote as the title and what I wrote as the description. If you wanted to add another one, you click New again, and you'd go through that same process. I'm going to click Cancel instead, because I don't want to save that. Next, you go to Documents. This is how you would add something that you want to attach to your report as a PDF. So if you have a drawing, or you have a batch plant ticket or a welding procedure, and you want that to be included on the report, you'd come down to the Documents tab, you click this New button, and you get this record. So the first thing you want to do, if you want this added to the report, you have to check this Add to Appendix box. Otherwise, it will not get added to the report. It will just get uploaded to the system. Description is, for your reference, does not appear on report. But it might be helpful to you to find that document in the system later if that's what you want to do. And then you'd click Browse. So I'll put in this whatever this concrete file is. This does have to be a PDF. It will not accept a Word document or anything else, so this has to be a PDF. Once I have it, I click OK. If for some reason you open this and something's gone wrong, click Cancel so you don't create a blank record. I have everything in there, looks all set. I'm going to click OK. So now I have that attached. That's on every report, kind of the basics. So I have it all filled out. I'm going to click Save because I've been doing a lot of work. Want to make sure I don't lose any of it. And then I'll come over and I'll click Complete and Publish. If you are extra zoomed in, it may be that you have to go to these 3 dots to get Complete and Publish or to get Timecard. On my current view, it looks like I'm all set. So I'm going to click Complete and Publish. Are you sure you're ready to publish this report? I say OK. And you'll see that I get a checkbox here. And if I scroll down, here's my report. If I click on there, I'm going to click on there even though it causes a little trouble. So you see it opened in the same window. And here's the report just to show you what it looks like. The permit, the header information, description of work, revision notes. If you do not have revision notes entered, then it will not say revision notes here. Your name, your signature will go right below your name. Your certification, whatever you put in qualifying certificate. Your employee ID, which we have for you. And then this is the table page. Different reports will have different table pages. And this is the photo page. So there's the photo I took, description, title, And then last is our attachment. So this is what I attached. It's apparently some document that's got some problems with the way it's formatted. But that'll be the attachment. It will, however many pages it is, will go there. So now, if you are working in Safari, in Chrome it's nice, it just downloads. But if you are working in Safari, you might think, get back into the system, I'm just going to click the back button. Unfortunately, that doesn't quite work. Even if you do this, it's not quite right. So there, you see you can't get your navigation menu. It just isn't formatted correctly for some reason. So what you actually have to do is come into the address bar up at the top, take everything after .NET. So I'm going to come here. It's easier with the finger instead of the mouse. And I select everything after .NET. Actually, I'm just going to type it in again. Yeah. And click enter. And that'll take me just back to the schedule with my navigation menu appearing again. Although it looks like it's going to take a little bit this time. So I'm actually just going to refresh because sometimes it gets a little stuck, and refreshing is the way to go. So I already wrote my report. So to get back to my report, I don't want to go to my dispatch again. I'm actually going to come up here into the navigation menu, go to inspections, find the inspection that I just added, which is this one. I have it sorted by report date at the top. You can click on any column to sort by it, so I'll click on IR here. And you see there's an arrow up. If I click it again, there'll be an arrow down. The way you'll normally want this inspection list sorted is by report date. And you want to click it twice so that report date is the arrows pointing down, so the most recent ones are at the top. If I want to continue working on this document or on this report, I click this pencil and I'm back into the report. So we already published this, so we're good to go. Just wanted to show you the process. If you do happen to open your report to take a look at it, shouldn't really be necessary. You'll get a good sense of what it looks like. It will come out, the result will be very consistent. But if you do happen to do that and you need to get back to your report to create your time card, that's how you would do it. You'd go to your inspection list. I'm going to close that to get more space. Okay, so now we've published and we can create our time card. I clicked that time card button up at the top, and this is the time card. So I've got a bunch of gray fields. Those are all read-only fields, my name, the project, the time card date, importantly, you can't change that. And then my start and end time. That comes from my dispatch, but I can edit those, and those should reflect actual time on site to probably within about 5 minutes. You'll see 5 to 6, that's an hour. Calculated hour says half an hour. That is because I have this lunch box checked. If I go over and check no lunch, I'll get 1 hour. If I change this to read 6:30, I'll get an hour and a half. If you check no lunch when you finalize, you're going to have to put in a reason. So even on a short shift, so you'd say shift under 4 hours, or taken on a different job, something like that. Internal note, again, is for SEIs only. Note to signer would be some brief description of your work or anything that needs to go on the record if the day was shortened by rain, whatever it is. So that is kind of the top of the time card. That's for the whole day. For this demonstration, I'm going to show you a day that involves doing 2 different inspections. So this is for the whole day. Now we're going to add our hours for ultrasonic inspection. So I came to this time details tab. You see I have 2404, that's our ultrasonic code. I'm going to click this pencil. I click I click into this hours field, and I'm going to put actually just 1 today to make more sense. I want to tap over here just to let it do its math, and then we click this save. Again, if you want, you can pinch in on there, click save, and we have 1 hour. If we scroll back up to the top, you'll see we have 1 total hour, whereas that number was 0 before. That is our first time detail. So if you think about the old time tickets, the left side had a start and end time and whether you took a lunch and your description of work, and that was for the full day. That's kind of this top section of the time card. Down below is like the right side of that time ticket, where you would put in your activity code and the number of hours that you worked. So since I'm going to go add a second inspection, which will eventually add a second time detail, I'm not going to finalize yet. I'm just going to save this. So I go to my navigation menu with this, that's this hamburger button in case you haven't caught that yet, the 3 vertical lines top left corner. So I go back to my schedule, close my navigation menu, and now I'm going to add a inspection for reinforced concrete on this -2 job. So I click on that, dispatch, same situation as before. I come up, add new inspection. Safety briefing again. I'm going to acknowledge that by clicking OK, and I'm on my concrete inspection. So you'll notice this one is much more simple. All it has is the description of work. If we scroll down to the bottom, there are no additional tabs for data tables. It's just report photos and documents. All the other fields are the same. You don't have to put in fields about your UT transducer or your nuke gauge or anything like that for this one. You'll also notice that there are fewer things filled in from the dispatch. So that might be the case. I just wanted to show you both looks because sometimes you won't be getting that information. Offsite location, if it's not applicable, just leave it blank. Qualifying certificate, you should always have something in there. So I'm going to put in fake ICC number. Documents reviewed, you should probably always be putting something in there. IR number, that will be job to job. And again, report date is going to be today by default. I'll put in, I think I should still have this on my clipboard, yeah. Some main body, then I scroll down, get my compliance checkboxes, and click save. And then click complete and publish. I'm not going to bother adding another photo or another document. That's the same process on any inspection. So now you see I have completed it. If I scroll down and go to the Documents tab, my report is available there. I'm not going to open it right now. So I have published my report. I'm able to proceed to click Timecard right here. Or maybe under these 3 dots, depending on how zoomed in you are. Okay, so this is the same Timecard. You see the stuff I typed still there. The one difference, there's now an additional line for daily special inspection. So same process as before. On the left side, I click this orange pencil on top of a gray rectangle. Put in my 1 hour, and I click save. Now I have 1 hour of concrete, 1 hour of UT. The green is just because it's UT. That's for accounting purposes. So now I have 2 total hours, 1.5 calculated hours. Let's see. How you would add overtime or travel time or show up time. So if it's show up time, you would take the line that was added automatically and you'd come to the activity code and you would change it to show up time. Obviously, you wouldn't have two different inspections if it was just show up time. I'm going to change that back to regular time. If you're adding overtime, you need to pick the task that you worked the overtime on. So if you worked extra because there were more concrete trucks coming, you would select the concrete dispatch item, or sorry, the concrete time detail right here with the checkbox on the left, and you'd click this clone button. Click OK. And now I have an additional line here. I'd go edit that, and I can change that to either travel time, overtime, double time, whatever is applicable. So I'm gonna just do, actually in this case, travel time would make more sense since we only have a few hours. Travel time, and I'll just put in 1 hour. And I click the save, and there we go. If you do have overtime, the system will make you put in a reason for it. Demonstration purposes. And then you'd save. And now our time card's all good. If this is our full day, we can finalize it. Finalize and lock down time card, okay. Now you'll see a bunch of these fields are locked. You're still able to come in here and add an expense, which is pretty straightforward. You click new, you put in the amount, your activity code. I'm gonna say that was parking, your notes, and then if you have a photo of the receipt, you can take a picture of it or get it from your library. And then you'd click OK. Does it need a photo? Or am I just a little bit stuck right now? Yeah, I think I got a little stuck. That's okay. So now I've finalized. Monday through Thursday, if you are on a long-term job, this is where you'd be done. If you're on a short-term job, you would go and click Submit Daily Time Card if you're just bouncing one day at a time at various jobs. If you're on a long-term job, you don't want to submit your time card every single day. You submit it on Fridays. So Monday through Thursday, this is where you'd stop. Friday, after you've got to the stage where you are finalized, you click Create Weekly Time Card. The date range will be Saturday through Friday. That will normally be what you want. You can change it if necessary. But then you click Gather Time Cards at the top, and it will go through that job and collect that job in that date range and collect every time card that has been finalized. So if you worked 5 days, you should count 5 time cards here. We'll get this view to be a little more useful so you can also review your start and end time and all that. If you're missing some time cards, we'll talk about that in a second. But if this is, say you only did work 2 days, that looks good, you could go ahead and submit weekly time card. Let me cancel for a second, talk about the signer. On some jobs, there will just be one signer, and he's the signer whether he's there or not. On some jobs, there'll be multiple options in here, and you would have to select the guy who's actually there on site. Submit weekly time card, click OK, and that sends an email to that signer. It's still the policy at Smith Emery that you talk to the guy who you just sent an email to, either right before you send it to him, as you send it to him, right after. Just check in with him, say, hey, I just sent you my time card. I'm about to take off for the day. Please take a look at that and let me know if there's any problems. It will send an email to them that looks similar to your dispatch text. It has the information from your time card and then a link, just like your dispatch, a link where you can approve or reject, where the signer can approve or reject. Okay, so if you did not have all of the time cards down here, so say you should have had 5, but you only had 4, you find out which day is missing. You go to your navigation menu, First place you'll probably want to check is daily time cards. Again, I have this sorted by date with the most recent on top, and you'd look for that job and you'd say, okay, so I have the time card, but maybe it was not finalized, because it will only collect it if it's finalized or submitted. So maybe it had not been finalized yet, and so you forgot that stage on Wednesday, and that's why that time card wasn't collected. You would just go in, click this edit button, you would finalize the time card, and then you could start that weekly time card process again. If, however, the time card does not exist, it's not in there, that means that you didn't create it. So you would go to your inspections, find the inspection from that day, and you would send me the report ID, me or your manager, the report ID and the report date for the time card that you missed. This is the report ID. It's the project number, the job number, the dispatch number, and then the inspection number. If you do not have a report from that day, that means you didn't do your report. You'd have to go to your dispatch, create the inspection, change the date, publish, and then send me the report ID and date. And then I can open the time card. Once I've told you that I've opened the time card, you would come into your daily time cards list, find it there, fill it out, finalize, and submit. Important to note, if you started your inspection and you want to continue it, you started it, saved it, went to lunch, or had to go watch people weld, whatever it is, and now you want to come continue writing your report, you do not want to go to schedule. You want to go to inspections, find the one that you already created, and edit it. If you go to schedule, open up the dispatch, and click add new inspection again, that's going to be a blank report. That will not be the one you already started. That will be a blank report. Okay, I'll stop there. That's the basics of creating a report, creating a time card, submitting a time card, and then what to do if you forgot to do your time card or forgot to do your report. Again, very important. If you are backdating a report, you have to make sure you do actually backdate it, because otherwise you will not get a correct time card.